Welcome to Inside Addiction, Jade Wellness Center's very first blog on all things addiction to recovery. I'm Abby Scanio, and I'm here today with my friend and colleague, Dr. Shannon Allen. Shannon is a board-certified addiction psychiatrist, and she's here with me today to talk about overdose prevention. Shannon, I've been seeing in the media, the news, overdose is everywhere. Why is it so prevalent?
So, for the last 18 years, we've seen a significant increase in physicians prescribing opiates. As a result, we're seeing an increase in the number of people with opiate use disorders and heroin abuse. In 2013, opiate overdose became the #1 cause of death, or unintentional cause of death in the United States. This means that people are more likely to die from an opiate overdose than a car accident or a homicide. They figured out that it's one person is dying every 11 to 12 minutes. Recently, President Trump declared it a national state of emergency because so many people were dying. And the governor of New Jersey equated the number of deaths to having a 9/11 catastrophe every 3 weeks.
That's unbelievable. Who's at risk for overdose?
So those at risk would be anyone who's receiving a prescription for opiates, anyone with an opiate use disorder, anyone who uses intravenously. So if you take it by mouth, the risk is there, but it increases significantly by injecting. Those who mix opiates with other substances, especially benzodiazepines or alcohol, at risk. People who are taking stimulants or using illicit stimulants such as cocaine, methamphetamine are at risk. Anytime that there is a change in tolerance, you're at risk for an overdose. These would be people who are getting out of jail, who are coming out of a rehab, who have just completed a detox, or who have been prescribed naltrexone, and which would either be Revia or Vivitrol.
How do I identify overdose?
So when an overdose is happening, it's actually a process that occurs over 1 to 3 hours. First, your body will just develop a orthostatic hypotension, which means that the blood will start pulling in your legs and your arms. It's not where it needs to be. It's not in the heart, it's not in the brain. Then the opiates are working in the respiratory centers, which means that it's blocking that urge to breathe. So people just slowly stop breathing and respiratory arrest occurs. What does this look like? Well, they'll show signs of labored breathing. They may be trying to catch their breath. They might be snoring. They may start turning blue. You might feel that their skin is cold and clammy. They're going to develop central nervous depression, which means they're lethargic, tired, might not be arousable, and just lose consciousness. The other sign would be that their pupils will actually become pinpoint, which is that black area, just very, very small in the middle of the eye.
Dr. Allen, I'm with a friend, I'm with a family member, I witnessed an overdose. What can I do?
So 80% of all opiate overdoses are observed at some point. There is a medication, Narcan, which can be life-saving in an overdose. It actually works to reverse the overdose by pushing the opiates off of their receptor. There are currently 4 formulations out there. We have 2 of them right here. So the first one it's actually called Evzio. It's an auto-injector similar to the EpiPen auto-injector. I have a trainer right here. This one actually contains no medications, and it will actually talk you through how to administer it.
This trainer contains no needle or drug. If you are ready to use, pull off red safety guard. To inject, place black end against outer thigh. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Injection complete.
So
This trainer may be reused or
So there are no side effects with Narcan, but with the Evzio specifically, a needle will pierce the skin, so there is that potential for a little bit of bleeding, but it's negligible. The other formulation that we have here is the intranasal Narcan. This is the newest released formulation. It looks like a little spaceship. To administer it, you put the nose piece into the nostril, and then just squeeze it completely, and that will administer the full dose. Each of the Narcan kits actually has 2 doses in case you have to administer a second dose.
Is there a time frame you should wait between doses?
Right. It takes about 3 minutes for Narcan to work in most people. So waiting 3 to 5 minutes, if you don't see the person revive, automatically give the second dose. Before even administering Narcan, it's very important to call 911. And that's in case you have to administer a third or fourth dose. Some of the stuff out there is so strong that it's taking multiple doses for people to revive. Sometimes there's other medication substances involved in the overdose, which Narcan can't reverse. So if there's benzodiazepines in their system, alcohol, cocaine, other interventions may be necessary. So having 911 or EMS there to intervene is important. Narcan only lasts for about an hour, so people can fall back out into the overdose. Another good reason to have EMS there so they can monitor them.
Are there any safety concerns when you're using Narcan?
There are no adverse side effects. The only thing that it will do is reverse an opiate overdose. So the person should wake up, start breathing. With the auto-injector, there's a needle that'll pierce the skin. But other than that, no adverse side effects. Completely safe to use in women who are pregnant, even children, it's safe to use. So if there's a child that's down and you suspect an opiate overdose, you can administer this.
The Narcan you went over today seems very user-friendly. Where can I get it?
In the state of Pennsylvania, there's a standing order, which means you can walk into any pharmacy without a prescription or having seen a physician and ask for Narcan, and the pharmacist can dispense it to you. CVS has been very proactive in stocking the different types of Narcan, so that's a good place to go.
We'll also put some additional resources at the bottom of the screen if anyone wants some more information or more places to go and get Narcan. If I witness an overdose, I want to react. I want to save a life. Are there any consequences I should know of? Can I get in trouble for using Narcan?
So in most states, there are Good Samaritan laws in place. In Pennsylvania, there's the PA Naloxone Act 139. This frees people who administer Narcan as a Good Samaritan from any criminal or civil liability. This also prevents any criminal charges for the victim as well. So say the Good Samaritan and the victim were maybe using illicit medications or heroin, or there's paraphernalia laying around, as long as they follow the 911 protocol, that they should be free from any legal charges. This act also allows for third-party prescribing, which means I can prescribe to you and you can give the prescription to somebody else, and that's not considered diversion. Any other medication, that wouldn't be allowed. But with Narcan, the goal is to get as much out there in the community as possible.
Dr. Allen, I cannot thank you enough for talking with us today and sharing your knowledge and passion on overdose prevention. What you heard on Inside Addiction was how to respond to an overdose or how to react after an overdose has happened. At Jade Wellness Center, we strongly recommend anyone witnessing someone struggling with addiction or anyone in active addiction to seek treatment. There is treatment out there and there's treatment that works. Thank you for watching.